Matthew. Hey, congratulations on PG Psycho Goreman.
Thank you. Thank you. Super pumped.
Well, first of all, I want to remark you are very good looking in person.
Oh, thank you. I know. I know.
Movie doesn't do you justice hiding your face the whole
I
time.
know. I kept on talking to Steve. I'm like, can I just be in the movie, just like it in the background, just so people know who I am? Because I'd walk onto set. I got actually booted off set because people didn't know who I was, and I showed up halfway through the day when they're already filming. And because I'm there before everybody else and I leave after everybody else, people are like, yo, what's this guy doing here? Get off. This is a closed set. I'm like, I'm PG. I am the man who's in the suit. And it was a funny joke, but anyway, yeah. So
So how did you ended up being a part of this project? How did they manage to convince you to do this?
yeah, so I got a call from my agent. They're like, you get to be a monster, you get to be a villain. I'm like, whatever I have to do, I want this role. Because when I read the script, I'm like, this reminds me of like Terminator 2 meets Power Rangers. This is crazy. Like I'm so in. And so I went full out on the audition, sending my tapes, just kept on hounding Steve. And then I think everybody else knew how horrible it was being in the suit. And I was just really naive. So it was more of a who can we get in the suit versus who's the best person for the suit? Because being in that thing is a horrible experience. But yeah, I'm so glad I did it. So
So what was the process like with the suit? Did they basically like custom made some kind of like rubbery latex suit for you?
yeah. So I went in, they do a full body cast. So they cover you up, eyes and everything. And then they cut it open and then they make a full mannequin of yourself. And then from there, they just kind of build on this suit. And then it came in pieces. So the gloves, the head, the feet were all separate from like the main body. And it's kind of like wearing like, I don't know. It'd be like whale blubber. That's how I felt. I felt like I was just wearing all this, like a fat suit. Like it heats you up. Like we filmed in the middle of the winter and everyone's in parkas. I'm just in the suit. I'm like, oh, I feel great. This is amazing. No problem. And then when we filmed in the summer, I'm like, this is horrible. This is the worst thing because it's completely sealed. Like there is no ventilation. There is nothing. It takes about 3 hours to get in the first time. And you are just baking. I remember partway through the production, I'm like, guys, I'm in here for like 16 hours. I need to pee. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I finally got a pee hole partway through production. And it wasn't even the right place. I'm like, I don't know if you guys don't know your biology, but that doesn't, like, I have to go snaking for it. So yeah, it's a crazy experience. No one knows who you are. Just walking around as kind of like the crew member who has leprosy because people are like, who is this guy? You don't really know who you are. And then you get out of the suit and you look like got like mascara and everything just running down your face. And it just looks like a horrible mess. So, yeah.
You certainly must have lost a lot of water weight during that process.
So I started at 235. I tried to get as big as possible so that PG was like a mountain. And then by the time I was done it, because I couldn't eat when I was in the suit because there's nowhere to use the bathroom, and I can't drink because just peeing is too difficult. So I just shredded.
So for the head part, was that a mask or was that makeup that they actually?
Oh, I have the head. Do you want me to grab the head? I'll show you.
Oh,
the
yeah,
head.
sure. Go for
Give me
it.
a second. So this guy, this is the head. So it sits on, goes over top, and then they glue it right around the eyes, and then they glue it in the mouth, and your eyes just get ripped apart, and then this part gets glued to your chest. So 30 days in a row, you just have this red line of just being waxed every day, of just skin coming off, and it's something else. But yeah, this is PG. Got a walk-off set with this. And now they'll probably come after me because I have it, but whatever. And yeah, and the teeth are actually molded to my teeth. So yeah, that's Psycho Goreman. So Should probably just wear it from now on when I do interviews so people know who they're talking to. But yeah,
that's that's amazing.
yeah.
I'm actually surprised you do actually have that, because that's a rarity that they would
No, they're super nice. They the makeup guys, because every day they're taking me out of the suit. It's like ripping duct tape off your skin. They're like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry too. And at the end, they're like, you know what? We're gonna just give you one of these things as a thank you. So, no, they were nice. They were great. Super appreciate them.
now. You said the teeth is actually molded
Yeah.
into your teeth. Did they also like put like all that black goo stuff in your mouth too?
They did, and I'm like, all right, Steve, you gotta get me like Crest White strips because like I'm getting like the nastiest looking teeth right now because it's basically dye that you're putting in your mouth. I'm like, this is disgusting. So it became a joke on set. They're like, all right, Matt, we got to put the green stuff. And I was like, no. So just imagine PG, just like, I don't want it. So PG, there wasn't much acting that I actually had to do because PG in the movie gets to a place that he's a miserable prisoner to this girl. And that's kind of how I felt deep down inside doing this movie partway through. I'm like, I'm just a prisoner to this suit. So yeah, it was good.
So how much maneuverability did you actually have with this suit on? Because you know some suits are designed to be very maneuverable, and some of them are kind of stiff.
Yeah, like everything. How would you say it? I can do everything. It's just imagine having all those workout elastic bands attached to you. So when you move your neck, it's a workout, and everything is just like, oh yeah, okay. This is just a lot more effort. So the biggest thing is just like I can't really sit down because it stretches and rips the suit. The suit is actually so delicate. So the best thing I can do is just stand in a straight spot until you need me to do something, and then I go and I can do the scene. And in the scene, they're like, do whatever you want to do, we'll fix it. But just apart from that, you kind of just need to not move to save the suit because a mask will last about 2 days, 3 days for each mask. So you're doing 30 days of shooting. You're just ripping through the masks because they just start to disintegrate around the eyes and the mouth and start getting tears. So they don't want you to move until the camera's on.
So with those scene with some of the action scenes like the crazy ball scene, how
Yeah.
how do you manage to pull that off, or do you have to just basically move in slow motion to throw a ball or something?
No, that was my favorite day on set. Like when we got into the warehouse and we're allowed because they're like, all right, Matt, go. You're allowed to just move. You're allowed to just do stuff because so much of it is like, don't move the suit. So in that scene, they're just like, I got to just be me. So I finally got to be like one of the kids on set, just run around having fun. And we actually just played dodgeball for a good part of the day, which was amazing. Like that last chunk of that movie, we got I feel like the last 5 minutes was all one day of just everyone having fun. Everyone was just jiving. I don't even think anyone took breaks. People were wrapped and were still filming just because it was such a great time on set. It was very close to the end. So it was the hoorah. The closest thing to like an after party that we had was that whole crazy ball fight scene part of the movie.
So how does one act in the suit? Because it's not a career for a lot of people to be in the suits. I mean, how did you actually pull it off? It's not like there's like a YouTube instruction on how to act in these suits.
Yeah, so like I'm a big fan of like Pan's Labyrinth, and even when like Shape of Water came out, like I love, or Hellboy, I love those movies. So as soon as I got the call from my agent that I got to audition for this, I'm sitting down, I'm just watching this. I watch behind the scenes. I just kind of prepare myself for it. And then as soon as I got the mask, it was going through and getting the looks of PG down, because PG goes from I'm the conqueror of worlds to being subjected to this little girl and just like a defeated old dog and then rises back up to his former glory. So really wanted to show that in his character where he's big and like I'm like a ruler, and then all of a sudden he gets broken, and making sure that showed up in camera. So it was a lot of trial and error, and just making sure that like after we did Steve, I'm like, after we did a scene, I'm like, Steve, is there anything that you want different? Like, am I hitting what you want? And just having that dialogue with him. So
How was acting along with the kids throughout the entire movie?
Kids were great. I'll let you know that they are no different in real life than they are on screen. That is the dynamic that you saw there. Like Nita, that's her. I didn't even know Nita's name until we wrapped because she kept on going by Mimi. Like I was introduced to her, Mimi. So I didn't know. I'm like, is this like, I just never asked her. And again, I didn't have that, like I show up on makeup. So it didn't really have that time to like interact with them. So, but they're great. Owen's fantastic. Nita's fantastic. Nita is a firecracker. Nita just beat up on Owen after each take. Like that dynamic on screen, that was off screen. I'm pretty sure they had to put them in separate rooms sometimes for Owen's sake because Owen's just like, I don't know if I can take this anymore. So, but Owen's so great. And I do think Owen, he has had actually a large body of work for a child actor, so he really helped Nita just kind of talking through scenes, and they had a really great dynamic and really had each other's backs, and they came prepared. They knew their lines, they knew everyone else's lines, they knew the stage directions, like they were just on top of it. So I was super impressed with them.
So I'm curious because PG is actually voiced by someone else, but during the process of acting, did you basically speak, or you just basically made motions?
No. We went through all the lines, and basically I went more of a Sean Connery kind of sound to it. But Steve was open from the beginning that he had this guy that had a very rich Saturday morning cartoon villain voice that he wanted. I'm like, hey man, like you do you. So I made sure that there was a voice on set that the kids can go by, and like at first it was like jarring to hear where they went with it, but again I think it works for the movie, and it's cool. So
it's all good. Well, let me start wrapping things up for you. It sounded like you had such a great experience. You want to go through this process again, because some people make a career out of it, and some people one and done.
Yeah, no, talking with Steve is just like, if there's somewhere where we can go with PG, if there's a story that is worth it, then I'll get back in the suit. I don't want to just jump into the suit for the sake of jumping in the suit. Steve actually helped me out on my movie, and he actually made me a monster suit for the movie I'm working on. So I'm actually back in the suit for that movie. So I don't mind being in the suit. I do, how to say it gives me such an appreciation for so many movies that I really do love. And I kind of feel like it's like purgatory for, what people like as a director, what I throw actors through. I'm like, okay, this is kind of like payback. It just kind of sums it up real quickly. But yeah, I would definitely jump into the suit for PG again if there was a good story. I'd be very curious on where they would go with the narrative now that he's like all powerful. It's like, what do you do? But yeah.
Excellent. Well, Matthew, hey, once again, congratulations for PG Psycho Goreman. I can tell you loved it. You had a lot of fun with it, and it was a fun movie to watch. I watched.
I'm so glad.
Excellent.
So cool.
Next time. Bye.
All right. Thanks so much.